Hello everybody and welcome to the week in Marvel Avengers Alliance. Today's background soundtrack is brought to you by, wait for it, Final Fantasy VI OST. So, let's get right into it. Gotta lower the volume a little bit. Okay. So, we've got 2 days of PvP upon us. Which means that Monday, likely at 5 Eastern Standard Time, we will see a close to the end of PvP Season 27. What are we seeing down the stretch here, folks? Well, I've changed my team up, and I must say that it is working out on offense. I had been running Hafe and Elsa at the beginning of the season, but the usage of the Deb put a cramp in that, as the Deb would often mess around with Elsa. So I went back to a team that I used a while ago, basically around the time of my first Ada finishes, and this is Team Subtlety. It is Psylocke and Archangel in their X-Force suits. The reason why I go with this is Psylocke gives the team stealth, and Archangel gives the team fatal blow on their level 9s. Now the other members are Wolverine and Phantom X and Deadpool. Deadpool gives everybody Boombuster. Phantom X gives everybody a stacking dodge that your chance of dodging keeps increasing until you actually do dodge. Then it resets. And Wolverine is, I think, a don't die on me man kind of a deal. Honestly, except for Phantom X's dodging, these two are my favorite combined. Deadpool really makes no use of Fatal Blow on his level 9 because really it should be a Fatal Blow. And Boombuster really doesn't work out because Archangel has an AoE Nano Plague. So I wanted to show you guys how I have these guys kitted out because they are working out pretty well. Nano Plague is definitely replacing Soulfire extremely well because we don't have to deal with the magic immunity. So, apparently I'm missing an ISO over here, but okay. So, Wide Open over there, Virulent over there, Pulpy over there, and increased chance to crit because that is a fatal blow. And for some reason, Archangel is missing a Scrapper ISO. This is the one where attacks gain stacks. Could go with Purging, but I'm honestly not going to do that. No need for Bruised. There is the, don't need the Combatant one because it's just not guaranteed. Performing a follow-up increases attack and chance of crits. Yeah, maybe I do want to steal this one. He is 15, he does get his own bonuses. Yeah, I think I am going to steal that from Hogun. The group boss is gone, so okay. Yeah. That's going to be fun to run down the stretch. Psylocke runs her personal ISO. I use Snappy Service is a consideration, but because she has her personal A ISO, how a standard turn works for her now is to use this as a quick action, and then the Gracious, or then the Mental Coordination, rather than the other way around. And with her E-ISO, she starts the fight off with Mental Coordination. So this is got Grace to restore stamina, Kinetic Shield, has Aware, so she gains combat reflexes, and Psychic Knives has Monomolecular, aka Vorpal. So these guys are going pretty well. I recently switched up my defense team. Kurth and Emma were just losing, and I figured, well, why not switch it up? You can't lose any harder if you're losing. And these guys are actually doing relatively well at this point. If I take 5 matches, they'll win 2 or 3. The Overwatch protocol, the Lantern of Doom. Yes, I am running the scroll with Pesty, but that is because of the fact that we get to do Cornered, Exhausted, Pad Neutralize, etc., etc. The Lunacy to make them, the enemy team, exposed and drain their stamina. The stamina drain can't be removed as long as Pesty or the Scroll are in play. And the Cube. I've kind of felt this is a little sloppy because there are 4 actions that could be used here. at any given point in time, but at least the scroll goes on cooldown, so then it's just a choice of 3. Pesty is running Unexhaustible, and Kurth is running the Elite ISO. So, the Spec Ops has ended, and of course, as we know, She-Hulk is the prize. Some people have run into She-Hulk on defense. I don't know if she's getting used on offense. Not that impressed with her. Despair shuts her down pretty well, and yeah, just not really. I wasn't that impressed. I mean, the team was considerably lower than me. A full-on, like, 25, 28, 30k defensive She-Hulk with somebody else, maybe threatening, I don't know. What I am seeing down the stretch is the Rocket Spider Noir-based teams. One Rocket was running the Irradiated ISO, which put out, of course, that radiation form of internal bleeding, and it did some damage. I've also seen a rise of Victor Burb teams, and this has kind of been surprising, considering the fact that Victor Burb could have been around for a while. It's not like there has been any recent developments to Victor Burb that makes them viable, but they have been showing up, often with very high defense. There have been Spitfire groups like Spit Kurth and Spit Lord. They get obnoxious. Spitfire I find to be considerably more obnoxious than Quicksilver, simply due to the bleeds and of course her Voracious Vixen. That can definitely restore her to full from very far out. So for the Spec Ops, I did get everybody. I even ran into a Winter Soldier Victor defensive team, and I was like, I don't get it. Why are these two teamed up? And then Victor magnetized me and blew up some mines that Winter Soldier had put out, but I had already killed him. I was like, oh, I get it. Winter Soldier's kind of risky in PvP right now. The Deb is reportedly shutting him down at like a 70% rate on his mines. I have done a video on why you should not run the Deb on defense. And you know what? The proof speaks for itself. Running the Deb on defense is really, really stupid when your agent swipes away at the Deb when you have other good things like the Lunacy or the Cube or the Scroll of Runemeroth. I saw an agent who was the last one standing, just about ready to die, use the Scroll of Runemeroth basically in like one of the last 2 turns of his life. I'm like, dude, would have been a different match if you had used it otherwise. Surprisingly, I have not seen too many GBF or BFF combos in PvP. I only saw it once, and I don't think it was the full-on double combo. I think they were relying on Strengthen from somewhere else. I did run into a Heimdall Sweats Devil team. I won, but I gotta tell you, it was an obnoxious team. The interrupts from that were pretty bad. However, piecing together Sweats Devil with Rocket Raccoon, internal bleeding, and internal radiation might be something interesting. If Rocket Raccoon can proc extra attacks from Sweats Devil's interrupts, or a level 15 countering Sweat Devil, or a level 15 following up Scrapper Sweats Devil, that might be something to look into. If the agent ran Despair, the enemy team's pretty much shot. They're bleeding internally, they're radiating internally, you can't heal through it, and it can't be removed. Could be vicious. It's going to be worth some experimentation, that's for sure. So, as a joke, I had said, hey, you know, PvP is going to end Monday, Chapter 10 is going to drop Friday, and on Saturday, somebody's going to find some completely crazy piece of broken gear in the chapter, and PvP is going to get extended a week because people are bringing that broken gear into the fights, kind of like the Cosmic Shield. Well, it didn't drop. When will we see Chapter 10? Maybe next Friday. It's certainly a possibility. I don't think we're going to see it before PvP at this point. Maybe Wednesday, maybe Friday. My guess is Friday. So, for the wrap-up of the Spec Ops, I did get everything I wanted, got the full Gamma set. A lot of people are not thrilled with all of it. The Big Brother is really not much to write home about. The graphics of the explosion are nice, but the damage is basically a pittance. People are saying the satellite support and War Machine's satellite support-ish. The Wild Blue Yonder proc are actually stronger. But other parts of the Gamma set are pretty nice. I have run into a little bit of it in PvP. In PvE, I like the set. I think I maybe ran into one... Oh, yeah, this was an interesting team. Lizard and Human Torch. This was a guy that somehow had... He had definitely cheated his way up the ladder because he had, like, maybe tops 10 heroes. And he was bringing a stock Human Torch and Lizard into PvP. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? The cheating has gotten really bad. This season, there's been a lot of very visible instances of cheating. People with double elite ISOs, which, as we know, is impossible. People who are running 36 Big Brothers, which is possible, but we're talking over $200 to get that. I mean, it's something like 1,900 gold to have bought 36 Big Brothers. I'm seeing people in super high ranks with basically no attacking losses, which, I mean, I find that to be absolute bullshit. There has to be a counter team to your team out there somewhere. And the thought of being this deep in the season and having no attack losses, I'm gonna call bullshit on that one. So, Spec Ops wound up not getting the detonating rifle, but I got the Exobliv looking sprayer and the uranium launcher. Didn't get the detonating rifle, which is kind of sad. I would have wanted that, but oh well, you know, we can make do. I did get the mine layer out of the lockboxes, which is nice. I don't have anything out of Lizard lockboxes yet. I will say that Lizard works really nicely with the old cybernetic set, if you happen to have it. And that is the one with the glaive and the, like that flamethrower thing that becomes a quick action if you have other pieces equipped. I remember the glaive can become psychic, which is really nice. That set, I whipped it out and was using it with him, and my god, it was doing just tons of damage. And a very interesting thing is that Lizard in his Scrapper form follows up with his level 9, even if you don't have it unlocked. He unfortunately loses disadvantage in his Scrapper form, so if you do want to disadvantage people, including infiltrators, make sure you do it in the Tactician form first. So, like, if you're going to go Scrapper, but there's a Bruiser there, stay in Tactician long enough to put out the disadvantage. There's going to be some interesting team-ups for him. I don't know if we'll see him in PvP. But I've had some fun leveling him. I've had some fun playing with Howard the Duck recently. So I'm going to be doing some other videos tonight, and these will be on Marvel Future Fight and Marvel Avengers Alliance 2. So stay tuned to the channel for those. There have been some relatively big changes in both of them, more in Future Fight. But that's about that. So some questions that have come up this week from the streaming or just on YouTube videos. Will I be doing a PvP video with Girl's Best Friend and the BFF? The answer is yes, but I'm waiting for the off-season, just so I'm not constantly changing my gear around while having to worry about PvP. Is the Grace Note nerf? So, my friend Roland has asked me, has the Grace Note gotten a stealth nerf? The answer to that is seriously fucking hell no. The Grace Notes that I am running into Like when I run into the Spider Rocket teams, I always use the Hailstorm to open up on them so that they can't do their follow-ups. Well, let me tell you, the moment that I go to use that stupid Hailstorm, the Grace Note definitely pre-fires quite often and really initiates a lot of damage. Rocket and Spino are following up on each other like absolute crazy. And as you know, Spider Noir can follow up on everybody that Rocket hits. So, I mean, it's entirely possible to get hit once by Rocket, and then 3 times by Spider Noir, and then Rocket again, Spider Noir. Victor rebooting, I don't run into, unfortunately, because I do have to spare. The bug with the Hexenjäger leaving magic warding after the agent dies is still around, and I've submitted 2 tickets on it. So we will see what happens. So I've been leveling Colossus on the flight deck, and I'm also farming for his E, or his A ISO, in case I ever want to use him. I think basically at this point we're just kind of done with the Colossus Kurt teams. Just kind of tired of seeing them. I still do a little bit. The Deb is a lovely little shutdown for Kurth. I actually had one fight where the Deb interrupted Kurth trying to do Fear Me 3 times, and by that 3rd time she was dead. I was stupefied that I locked her down so well with that. The Deb is a little broken in the sense that it will turn off Rocket Raccoon trying to attack you manually with ranged, but it will not stop Rocket from following up with his ranged attacks, which I thought was a little shitty. It works, like it hits Rocket and it does damage, but he still gets the attack off. Oh shit, I picked Crimson Cow without picking Sugar Man. Whoops! Slight mistake there. Oh well, I'm not going for score. So, yeah, that's how I'm seeing the season wind up. I'm pretty sure Psylocke and Archangel are going to get the whole rest of the season at this point. I thought at some point maybe I would go back to Hafe and Elsa, thinking, is this team really going to survive? You know, I did take them away for Hafe and Molly a long time ago. But yeah, no, they're doing it. And I'm going to be sticking with them. So, hope you guys enjoyed the week in Marvel Avengers Alliance. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch to know when I'm doing my live streaming and doing my videos on YouTube. I have been streaming some of Tom Clancy's The Division, the beta version that is out on Steam. And, yeah, looking forward to the end of the season so I can actually do some other things other than PvP all the time. So, take care, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned to the channel for some videos on Marvel Future Fight and MAA2. Thanks a lot.